What's the Not Your Finest Hour podcast? What is that all? I mean, I've heard stories.
Not Our Finest Hour podcast. I'll have to check out one of these days when I get a minute to listen to it. I've been told it's not for everyone. Just the general reviews I hear on it. It has been getting really good reviews.
And I've never personally listened to it, but I have heard it's not for everyone.
I listened to the Not Our Finest Hour podcast. Just great podcast. I've really enjoyed that.
I'm not endorsing anything. From what Caleb told me, he said, don't endorse anything unless you listen to it first.
I do once in a while listen in, and it's a lot of fun. But I do got to be careful. It is not for everyone.
Caleb Allman is always dropping nugs that it's one of the most value-added shows out there.
Of course, through all the Not Our Finest Hour, you guys poking fun at so much different stuff is absolutely killer.
I don't feel any oppression tonight. In fact, I feel very free. Not Our Finest Hour podcast. Thanks for being here.
I'm Interlock in, and I wouldn't fucking miss a Not Our Finest Hour podcast for nothing.
Welcome to the beginning of the podcast. We're going to talk about how this year is the biggest bag of shit ever.
That's the truth.
I got this like insanely long comment on one of my YouTube videos. And it was basically this guy just fucking railing me for swearing so fucking much.
Oh, great.
He's like, is there any need for that? I should look it up. I mean, it wasn't a terrible comment. Like, he was being nice about it, but he's definitely making it known that I fucking swear too fucking much.
Well, he has the option not to listen at all.
Enter pitch in picture automatically. I don't want to do that. Don't know. Fuck off. What are you talking about? Picture in picture. The fuck is that?
You'll get less AdSense money if you do swear in your videos.
Oh, great. I get zero AdSense money, so I don't think it really makes any fucking difference.
I don't even know what AdSense.
Odd. So this is like literally a 500 character comment. Odd how many times you say fucking in a conversation. Been roofing 30 plus years myself and worked around mostly all uneducated, alcoholic, drug-addicted, convicted criminals of all kinds Canada-wide. Besides when casually talking or joking amongst ourselves privately, rarely does anyone curse using the F word in every sentence so often. Assume we all have our moments and opinions. I've always asked other employees to do the same. It seems to me it makes for a better, more professional workplace without cursing outside of work in regular situations like talking to friends or family. To each their own. I definitely wouldn't post a video unless editing the audio first. Still, awesome, real-time, informative content. Videos of your work. Great job with the quality work y'all do.
Is this guy fucking bipolar?
I don't know. Then he made another comment that said solar trickle charger works well for a dump trailer. And I'm like, yeah, it fucking does.
But why would he think that he is entitled to post a long ass opinion?
I want him to post a long ass opinion. I hope he posts.
Well, I guess it's good. I guess it's good for your
every fucking video. I hope he posts a fucking long ass opinion.
But why would he think anybody cares?
I think he cares about me, and he's trying to say, hey, maybe if you didn't swear so fucking much, you'd be more professional.
Fuck off. Don't tell me what to do.
I'm not. You are way more offended by this.
Yeah. Don't fucking tell me what to do. I don't need it. Don't need it in my life. Don't need your fucking
you should
stupid
probably not
opinion.
be on social media then.
Well, no, because people don't. People don't.
I'm thankful that this guy wrote this comment.
Well, yeah, because it's good for your algorithm.
It's fucking great. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Where'd Mike go?
I don't know.
Oh, he's back. I have some great news, guys.
Ooh.
Not really. I passed my driving test.
Oh, nice.
So
that is great news.
I'd like to apologize to the lady that I called a complete cunt like 20 times the last episode.
Did you get the same one?
Yeah. There's only like 2 in town.
Okay.
So, I mean, was it partially my fault? Well, probably all my fault last time that I failed, right? But it's also a ridiculous test.
But she didn't create the test, to be fair.
No, but I feel like...
And she has to enforce it if that's her job. Because she doesn't, like, if she doesn't and she gets caught, she'll lose her job.
No, I understand that completely. But I feel like having my license before and having it ripped from me by the government that lost my medical, there would be some leniency.
Well, they were focused on giving another 270 million to Ukraine today. So how the fuck can they possibly be focused on where your license is?
Well, I don't know if it's the same people, but yeah, sure.
I think everyone needs to focus more on Ukraine.
Unless on
Every
like,
government official in Canada should be solely focused on Ukraine.
yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Would definitely help this country. I don't know why we only gave them 270 million.
I don't know.
Like, that's not even going to put a dent
Travesty.
in, like, Christia Freeland's fucking money laundering.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. This podcast going to get banned.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
allegedly.
not. We're really close to them getting the AI to scrape our podcast, and we all lose our social credit score.
But anyway, I'd like to apologize to the lady that I called a cunt a whole bunch of times
Why
because
was she nicer this time?
yes, but maybe I told her more of what she needed to hear. Obviously, to pass this stupid fucking test. She's not stupid. The test is stupid. But
What did you tell her that she needed to hear?
everything I needed to pass.
The jiggle in the steering wheel.
Oh,
To jiggle in the steering wheel, you fucking slam your shoulder up against the door so that you don't fall out. You click your seatbelt 5 or 10 times to make sure it locks you in. You know?
5 or 10 times.
Oh yeah, it's fucking mental, and you have to explain it while you're doing it too.
Wow.
I'm
And you look,
clicking my seatbelt 5 or 10 times because I'm deranged and have, like, those people who check if the door's locked 500 times? What's that called? Obsessive
same thing.
compulsive disorder?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to check your mirrors during your road test. You constantly have to be fucking pinballing your head all around, looking at your mirrors and shit. I'm like, this is making me fucking dizzy. Here's something fucking stupid. The first time around, I wore my sunglasses because it was sunny out. According to drive tests, I need to wear glasses to drive. So I wore my sunglasses. I'm like, oh, these are prescription. They're like, okay, great. They weren't prescription. They were just regular fucking sunglasses. The only other time in my life I've worn my prescription glasses is for this fucking test. I felt like I was driving around drunk. Like it took me a good fucking 10 minutes to adjust my eyes so that I could drive okay with these things. Like, and this is supposed to make me a better driver? Unfucking real, man.
Did they ask about the fuel tank in the back?
I took my father-in-law's truck, the one that I
Okay.
bought him, and he has a fuel tank in the back, but it's never had fuel in it,
Mhm.
and it doesn't have the pump at the top. So no, they didn't ask. They asked me, what did they ask me this time? Because they'll
I'd be
pick.
fucked.
What's that?
Well, every truck I own has a fuel tank in it.
Well, yeah, so you'd have to take something else. I could have taken one of the big trucks, but then you would have to go through the air brake shit. If you take a regular pickup with a trailer for an AR test, you can bypass the whole air brake thing and still be able to drive
But
an air brake
does your
truck.
license have a Z endorsement on it?
Yes.
An ARZ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like a complete so now I can drive heavy trucks after taking my license with a pickup truck and a trailer. Tell me how that makes sense.
Well, you can't without a Z. But if you didn't have if you already had a Z endorsement, you took the Z course.
Correct. But that's all it is, right? Is
But if you just have an AR and you haven't taken the Z course, you can't drive the
no.
big trucks.
But the Z endorsement is a weekend course where everybody passes.
Yes. But I'm
So
just saying if you don't get that unless you take the course.
correct.
Or you can just write it because I just wrote the test. Like I just wrote it.
Yeah,
didn't take the
I think
course.
you can.
I just
I don't
went and
know.
wrote the test. But I was renewing. I wasn't getting it. Technically, you weren't renewing.
Well, I did have to renew it, and it's 5 questions or something like that on a separate piece of paper.
It's more now. It's like 30 questions now.
No, that's for
I
your truck license.
No, I renewed my air brake. It was like 30 fucking questions.
Mhm.
Christy failed. I failed. We all failed. We had to take it like 4 times. They changed it last year. It's
I
fucking
just took it.
amazing.
I just took it like a month ago, and it was 5 questions on a paper.
Oh, I don't know. I guess it's different in Cornwall. Here, you sit down at
Maybe.
a computer. It's fucking long and
Well, that
fucked.
was for the A license.
No, this was to renew my air brakes. That's all I had to renew. It's fucked. I did first they said I had to take a course online. So I took the fucking course on. We talked about this. I took this fucking course
Oh yeah,
online for like 2 hours.
they told me I
And then
did.
I went there and gave them the fucking paper you have to print out and said, here, I took your course online. I passed. And they said, yeah, we don't care about that. And I went, oh. I said, what
Great.
do I have to do? They said, you have to go and take this 30-question air brake test at the computer. I said, great. So I went there and took it, failed, took it again, failed, took it again, failed, took it a fourth time, passed.
Yeah, that
But
sounds
it
amazing.
wasn't I can tell you confidently, it was not 5 fucking questions. It was like 30 questions. And then Christy went there, and because she was like, oh, I know everything about air brakes. So she never fucking studied, and she failed it like 3 fucking times.
Yeah, this is a money grab. This whole thing. And I
All
asked
of it
her
is
like,
bullshit. I bet they don't do this in Ukraine. Do they even have driver's licenses in Ukraine? It's like a third world country, isn't it?
everybody gets a tank for this for the price that we've given them.
Everyone gets a Bentley. More the highest percentage of Bentleys sold in the world last year were sold in Ukraine.
Really?
Yeah.
Unreal. Yikes.
It was like 25% of Bentleys or something. New Bentleys were sold in Ukraine.
Um, so we were driving in this driver's test after I passed the first part where you have to molest the wheel and fondle the fucking undercarriage of your truck and all this other shit, right? And I told her, I said, if I fucking failed by now, I want you to tell me. I don't want to do the road test. Like, I don't want to waste the fucking time to do the road test if I already failed on some stupid thing. So, and at every step, she'd be like, okay, you're good, you're good, you're good. Like, can we do the road test? She's like, yeah, we can do the road test. You didn't fail anything yet. Get in, do the road test. Shooting the shit with her. She's like, I asked her, I'm like, are you allowed to talk for this thing? Because it's awkward as shit with you just fucking there with your iPad judging everything. She's like, well, I'm not supposed to talk that much, but I can talk a little bit. Okay, fine. And so towards the end of it, I asked her, so whenever the person taking the test needs a translator, did they do the road test with you? She goes, no, they're not allowed in the truck for the road test, only for the fondling of the truck ahead of time. I said, okay, so if they don't speak English, how does that go? She goes, well, we use a lot of hand signals, and sometimes there's like no English. Okay, that sounds real fucking safe, but whatever. Could you imagine that? Somebody fucking guided you through a translator to do all your pre-test stuff, all your pre-in-car road test stuff, and then you get in the car and you can't speak a fucking lick of English. They want to put you behind a transport, the wheel of a transport. Insane to me.
Yeah.
But this is how it goes, I guess. And I'm the racist one for bringing it up.
I don't think it's racist. I think it's a safety issue.
I think
Like
so
I
too.
don't care. Like I don't care if you're from Ukraine and you come here and you only speak Ukrainian. I still don't. And you're white. I don't fucking want you driving without being able to speak English. I couldn't give a shit. That's more like fascism. I only want people the same as me from my country that speak my language. It's not racist.
Nationalism? Yeah.
Nationalism. Yeah, it's not racist. Racism is like saying I don't want any brown people to have a license.
No, they can have.
You're saying I don't want people who don't speak English to have a license, regardless of race or creed. Well, I guess English or French in this country. If you speak French, you should be able to get a fucking license. It is one of our official languages.
Whenever at the end, she's like, congratulations, you passed all the shit. I'm fucking jumping for joy. I go inside the license place. They call my name again. They sit me down. And she's asking me questions. She's like, has your address changed? No. Are you still the gender you were assigned at birth? Yes. And she's like,
Are you?
are you an illegal immigrant? And then she leans over the table and she goes, do you think if you were an illegal immigrant, you would say you're a fucking illegal immigrant? I'm like, I don't think so. She goes, yeah, because someone would be here to pick you up right away. She's like, well, she's not wrong. You know, who's gonna fucking confess to the drive test center that
Why
you're
are
not?
we giving license? I like the fact that we're giving like official licenses and ID to people that are illegally in the country.
I'm sure it happens.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Sure, it
Yeah.
happens all the time.
Did she ask if you have a wig?
No, she's not just about a wig.
I read this chart and I think it was either 10 or 15 countries in a row. And over the last 5 years, how much immigration they had allowed into each country that was sustainable. There was, I think, 15 countries. And the total was like 5 million people had immigrated to these 15 countries in a sustainable, safe manner. And then it said Canada, 10 million or
Yikes.
something in the same period of time. And I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah. I'm no expert on immigration, but I don't think that's the answer.
well, the country is dependent upon immigration for growth and GDP.
Some, yeah,
But
some immigration.
no, yeah, you could argue that the greatest resource this country has is the ability to have people immigrate to the country and improve the country. That you could argue it's more valuable than oil, it's more valuable than wood and forests and lakes and water and whatever. But you like
The
any
ability to
resource,
attract people.
no, like any resource, it has to be managed. If we clear cut the forests of Canada, we could make billions of dollars selling the wood, but that's not responsibly being managed. If we could make billions of dollars selling all our fresh water, but that's not responsibly managed. We could sell our potash at record low price. Like we could do all these things, but none of those resources do that because they're trying to responsibly manage them. The biggest resource we have as a country is completely irresponsibly managed, which is insanity.
Yeah, but it's a voter thing, right?
But the Liberal Party just got fucked by that. So some liberal MP, Carney handpicked him to win this nomination in Scarborough. And then once he was nominated for that Scarborough seat, there's a by-election, win the Scarborough seat, and then become the leader of the Liberal Party in Ontario to try and get rid of Doug Ford. It's this handpicked fucking Liberal Party candidate. But he was running against this guy who owns 30 dominoes from Sri Lanka, and I guess there was a bunch of weird shit that went on. And now this guy, whatever his name is, Carney's handpicked guy, is saying that because he lost the by-election. The Carney rigged by-election got more rigged by the Sri Lankan dude and all his Sri Lankan buddies that from Scarborough that live in that zone or whatever you want to call it, that riding. So he beat this guy, and this guy basically torpedoes his entire political career to lose to the guy who owns the Sri Lankan guy that owns 30 dominoes. And now that guy is crying, "Oh, it's an illegal election and there's falsehoods," and all these liberal people are like, "Oh my," and I'm like, "No, no, wait. Totally democratic. 100%." But it was their own party. I guess they printed a bunch, like a lot of the people who voted in this by-election weren't registered members of the Liberal Party and can't speak English. So they had a bunch of ballots printed in Sri Lankan that were like describing what to do when you, anyways, it was a whole rigged thing. But now they're all whining. And I'm like, you people literally got out liberal. The Liberal Party just got out liberaled.
Oh, boy, that's
This guy looked at his 30 dominoes and said, "You know what I need to do? Upset the liberal apple cart. I'm fuck owning 30 dominoes. Like this guy owns 30 dominoes. Why does he want to be the MP for fucking Scarborough? Unless he's looking to get more dominoes into Scarborough, maybe. I
Domino's
don't
Pizza
know.
is fucking awful.
I like Domino's
It's like
pizza,
the
man.
worst pizza.
Oh,
It's
it's gotten so
shitty
much better
pizza.
from like 15 years ago.
I remember I was hungover as shit one time, like, oh, I could really go for a Domino's pizza. And I got it, and I'm like, this is the fucking most disappointing pizza I've ever had.
How many years
Isn't
ago was that?
Cornwall famous for pizza though?
Yeah, there's way better pizza than
Oh,
Domino's. But it was probably 10 years ago,
okay.
you know? But I can do without that in my life.
I know that Domino's delivers to our Phil site.
How
Oh,
do you know that?
Kyle. One day this so every day this week some bullshit has happened to me. And the one day this week the bullshit that happened was Kyle's car wouldn't start at the Phil site. So I went to his car and he was like, well, fuck it. If I'm stuck here, I'll just order some Domino's. They deliver here. Let's just hang out here for the night. Okay. It's like it's 8 o'clock, man. I gotta go. I got about 100 things I still haven't done yet today. So fucking Domino's delivers everywhere.
I wonder if they deliver to my house. Drivers have a really hard time finding my house. They all like because my house is at the same property as the yard, they
Mm.
have a really hard time distinguishing which one is which. Like if you order food,
Well, one looks like a house.
yeah, but they always send it to the shop. Like it's dinner time, Friday night, whatever. Yeah, someone's really ordering this food to the fucking shop right now
Well,
instead of
somebody's living there. Maybe they just assume it's
Concord. Yeah,
always that. Yeah.
Concord. I don't know.
Doesn't someone live at the shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, Concord. Well, he doesn't live at the shop. There's an apartment at the yard, which is where the shop is. But
Does he order food there?
I don't think so. I've never seen delivery truck.
Do you think he orders food more frequently than you do?
No.
That could be the discrepancy.
Yeah, potentially, but I've never seen a delivery driver in there for him.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I don't know.
The air suspension in my Dodge Ram blew up, which I would never buy a vehicle with air suspension, but whatever, it came with it. So it was like I was driving it and the light came on. Well, like I'd say 3 months ago, the air suspension light came on and I was like, ah, fuck. And then it just went off. And I was like, cool, it fixed itself. But it didn't. It just fixed itself temporarily. Then it blew up completely. And then I'm driving this truck and I had a trailer on when this happened. So the truck looks like one of those trucks from South Carolina, like because the bumper is almost scraping on the fucking ground and the front end is sticking way up in the air. Like this seems like something I need to get fixed immediately. Then on top of that, the water pump blew up, which was sick. And every time I drive somewhere, the horn honks. Like if you touch the wheel, the horn goes what, and I'm like, so coming out of our yard, there's the main driveway of Arnt's, and then there's RX. Like there's a gate where we exit, and there's a gate directly across. So it's like a four-way cross of roads, right? Like a cross. And so I pull up past the gate and I stop. There's a truck, a silver truck coming west. There's a black car coming east, and there's a Durango directly across from me coming south. I'm going north. So the person in the Durango's in a landscape yard, so you immediately know they don't know what the fuck is going on because they're in a Durango exiting the landscape yard. So I wave. The silver truck comes to a weird stop. There's no stop sign. There's a stop sign for me, stop sign for the Durango, no stop sign for the other two. The black car goes through. The silver pickup screeches to a halt. I'm looking around going, what is going on? I start waving at the Durango. The Durango starts to go. The silver pickup stop. I start turning the wheel of my truck, and all of a sudden the horn starts blaring. What? Now, the black car locks up its brakes. The Durango locks up its brakes. I look at the silver pickup. I realize it's my ex-business partner that fucking hates me. So now he's looking out the window, fucking waving his arms, giving me the finger because he thinks I'm honking at him because I'm pissed at him. Meanwhile, I didn't even know it was him. I'm also not pissed off at him. He's pissed off at me. And he's giving me the finger and like threatening me and waving his hands wildly, which honestly, if I was in his position, I might be doing the same thing. Meanwhile, I'm in my truck pounding on the fucking steering wheel, trying to get the horn to stop honking. And I was like, man, what kind of a life am I leading here? My truck, this is all happening after the air. So the air suspension's blown. The truck looks like it's from South Carolina. There's coolant pouring out of the water pump. The horn's honking. And this guy's screaming at me, threatening me because he thinks I'm honking at him when I didn't even know he was fucking there. And I don't care about him at all. I was like, man, Tuesday is kind of shit.
Well, we've got our guests waiting in the wing. Maybe your Tuesday will get a bit better here.
Sure.
This is somebody that has been mentioned many times in the podcast ever since even we started. So I felt it was time for him to come on the show. And what else can I say? Yeah, I think this is about time that we have this person on the show since they've been an integral part despite not even knowing it. So I'll let him on in.
Holy.
Paver Pete.
Interlock Ian.
Welcome to the
Interlock
Not Our
Ian
Finest
is
Hour
here.
podcast.
Thank you for having me. Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Hey, Pete.
Doing good.
We're
Thanks so
awesome,
much for
man.
your
How are
time,
you?
man.
Yeah. A little
I
dark
guess
in here. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's
Don't worry about
okay.
it.
You think we want to see you? Like, come on, man.
And I cleaned up.
Oh, beautiful.
Cleaned up nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So are you all done? You're all done the main tour now. You're just doing the smaller tours?
Yeah. Yeah. We call Paver Pete Tours. I got 2 architectural presentations on retaining walls next week, one in Chicago and one in Carmel, Indiana, for Brickworks International, which is the parent company of Glengarry Brick and Redland Brick. They're the largest manufacturer and distributor of clay bricks in the world, I think, based in Australia. So they invited me to speak for a couple of events, and that's kind of what I do once showcase is over, just by invitation only. I was up in your neck of the woods at Beaver Valley.
I saw that. Yeah.
Doing a job pricing class as an invitation. You know, they're super nice people, and they asked me a bunch of times, and it never worked. And I was like, I'm just going to do it. So it was great. We had 20 people for springtime, 20 people in the GTA.
That's a pretty big
good,
showing, Pete. Honestly,
Huh?
20 people.
For the springtime, yeah.
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 How many
Nice.
places did you go to showcase this year?
36 cities.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
That's
wild.
crazy. How many did you go when you started? I'm interested in that progression because one of the things that no one ever talks about is the progression, but you've been day one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Day one, showcase
yeah.
one.
Yeah. Day one, showcase one. I think the first year was 9 cities. We probably didn't do 9 cities, probably didn't get the attendance for 9 cities. And they asked me to help write it. And so I wrote it and I was in it, the videos. And then they hired a company on Long Island that was going to deliver it, professional speakers. And we were in Virginia, and I was a sales rep for Teco. And I watched them deliver it, and I said, "Oh fuck no, that was bad." as a commission salesperson, I could not tolerate that. So I did it, and then they called me and they said, "We heard you're pretty good at it." And I said, "Well, I've been practicing." So
you started at 9 and then it's just grown to 36.
no, before the pandemic, it was 52 cities. We do 3 a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember those years. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Monday, Wednesday, Friday shows set up on Sundays. It was a run.
Is the King of Prussia still the biggest show? Or is it the biggest show?
Yeah. If you look at the map of that part of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, you got Wilmington right below it. You got, South Jersey, Central Jersey right next to it. You got Lancaster, Harrisburg, Hershey, Hershey chocolate. And north, you got the Lehigh Valley of Pennsylvania. It's like all the highways come together, and it just, if it was good enough for George Washington to train his troops in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, which is right next door, we call it King of Prussia, but it's really Valley Forge.
Gotcha.
And I'm a big George Washington fan. then it's good enough for us. And it is the audience has rewarded us. We do a good job, and we work really hard to make it a good show. And they come out. We had I think we broke the record this year. It was 1,100 people for the first day.
So I went to the King of Prussia show.
Yeah, I think I remember
Back
that.
in the day. And I didn't know, like, we had no idea. We just picked a random show when we went, right? Like,
Yeah.
we just picked one. And then when we got there, we were like, this is like the coolest place ever. It's a casino. The trucks are driving into the building. The
Yeah.
trucks are in the fucking, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Of all the tech, and I've been to a lot. Like, I bet I've been to at least 20 shows. I think
Okay.
it's my favorite I've ever been to, was that time that me and Jonathan went to King of Prussia.
Yeah.
I said to these guys, we got to, because now it's like a big deal. It's like almost like a
Oh, it's
like
massive.
it's like a it's like a, you guys are literally putting on like a landscape show, like a
Oh
whole
yeah.
factory.
Pave brought in an excavator and was mechanically laying pallets of blue 60 in the new mechanical laying format right there, right in the show. And it's a big enough building that it doesn't have to be an all electric piece of equipment. You could run equipment and have 1,100 people there. It's really, it's something. It's a testament to our admin team, really, that they can get them out for the break, back in, out for lunch, and then back in, because us hardscapers are like herding cats, right? It's not a
Yeah.
not an easy thing, and it's pretty exciting. I wish it would have worked in the GTA. We had a summit up there for a couple years, but I guess I don't know, your 401 to the 403 to the 407 over to the 420, whatever the fuck you guys call it. All those 400s up there it just didn't work. And so we did have great attendance in Toronto and the suburbs. So we were really excited about it. It says something that Toronto's a good attendance because it's a very mature market. It's where hardscape started. A lot of people know a lot about, paving stones and retaining wall blocks and permeable pavements, and yet they would trust us to come to our show. I think is a very cool thing.
I thought the show was great this year. I
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was really good.
You guys always put on a good show, to be honest. It's
Yeah, I don't think I've ever
Premier.
walked away disappointed or thought that it wasn't worth my time once, ever.
Mhm.
Even when I saw the same show twice some years.
Yeah, we got hot dogs one year. Remember that?
Yeah, I absolutely remember that. And
Cincinnati.
we also, I guess this is not our finest hour, so it's okay, but we also went and shot guns
Yeah.
one year in Cleveland. Yeah. I don't know if we talk about that on other podcasts, but on this one we can clearly discuss it. It's allowed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we went in.
And
we
if you
went
come
and shot
back,
guns.
we'll shoot guns again.
Sick.
Because
I think
that's
we
how
should
we
do
do things.
King of Prussia for sure.
Should we do a Not Our Finest Hour King of Prussia tour?
I think so. It's not even that far. It's not super far to go.
We can
It's
set you
great.
guys up with a little room and an audience and have fun. I think it'd be a
Sick.
great idea.
Do a
And
live podcast?
Do a live podcast, do it 2 days. Maybe we'll bring in somebody who's one of the rock star guys from that area, or guys or gals, designer, builder of things that can, interact with you and give you some, guys who are building, it's up to you. I mean, guys that are building $1 million US landscapes and, all, down to, doing it as part of their maintenance and their ponds and all that other stuff. You pick, and, we got lots of friends down here. We're very proud of that fact. And we'll find the audience for you.
One of the things I really liked about this year's show was that you did it in the snow. It was like not a convenient time to be doing like,
Yeah.
I think that most, and you can tell me I'm wrong because I don't remember them all, and you obviously have a way bigger knowledge, but I don't remember any other time that you guys were doing a showcase in those kind of conditions that were like that, where it's snowing and it's cold.
Rain and snow. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, the camera quality has improved so much that, as you can see, I use a lot of hair gel. It's where I get my strength from. It's Samson, like Samson. So I can't film in the rain because I degel, right? I'm just, it's not, it's not a pretty picture. So, but we worked it out this year with the film crew and the high definition cameras there. You could almost not tell, and I would be under a tent and they'd say 1, 2, 3, go. And I'd run out into the rain or into the snow and start filming. And you could see on my jacket and on my coat water kind of dripping down every once in a while, but you couldn't tell unless you're really paying attention. And it was coming down. In the old days, it would just, the camera would pick up and it couldn't focus. And the technology is absolutely amazing nowadays. So, and that was a neat project. The apron side of the business, the apron at the bottom of the driveway, in the U.S. is nowhere near as mature a market as Canada is or Europe is. We don't do a lot of driveways. I mean, obviously it's every year way more, but still not as compared to Toronto or Montreal, Quebec area. But everybody can do an apron, and anybody who cares about the environment and their community and their neighborhood should do a permeable pavement apron. So us having the opportunity, and that's where I start every once in a while, I'll pull a little bit of muscle and say, we have to get this. I feel it's an important thing for Techo Block, but for everybody, the distributors, the contractors, our industry, that we can keep water on our site, no runoff. All the water from that asphalt driveway, that ready mix concrete driveway, that interlock driveway, we're going to catch it in the apron. We're going to run it down into it. And we had adjacent flow wells from NDS that were catching any overflow water. We amended the soil, changed the gradation, built a reservoir, detention basin under the pavement, and kept all the water from that site on site. And that's why we kept getting delayed, because I didn't want to budge. I wanted to do that one thing. So we did this really cool front of the house, and we did a little heating apron and a lot of stuff we've done before. But that bottom of the driveway was very important, I thought.
Yeah, it was super cool. I also think that it's that functional, but I also think that job is really cool looking and really good looking, which I think sometimes people still relate permeable pavement to not being attractive.
Sure. Orthopedic shoes. That's what I call them. Uni. When I started selling pavers was 1992. We had Uni Echostein, which is German for Uni Echo Stone. It was fucking ugly. They're like, you can't sell it. I'm like, I can sell ice to Eskimos. You know what I mean? I like it. I'm good at it and I enjoy it. And if it's right for you, you're going to buy it from me. I'll help you do that. But it was like selling orthopedic shoes to people. It was, going to the Met Gala with orthopedic shoes on it. A little Hunger Games. They've gotten a little Hunger Games there at the Met Gala, but you get the concept. It's now we have great cobble textures. We have clean block technologies. We've got light colors, bright colors. Border bandings, inlays, mosaics. You can do. That's who Techo Block is. I mean, I'm not wearing the Techo Block shirt, but that's who we are. We want people to say that this was a great idea when they're done spending, $35, $55, $105,000 or more, that they go, wow, this was a great idea. And the aesthetics of what we do is going to push them across the finish line. Now it's got to perform a year, 3, 5, 55 year down the road. I just had a conversation with a very high end builder in Montreal, and he's talking about short term things, 5, 10, 15 years. I'm like, I'm talking 55-year design life. That's the engineered design life of this pavement. So if you want to talk about that, I can't. I mean, asphalt will last you 10 years.
Well, Pete, I was always curious, why Techo, right? Because at least whenever I was coming up, they were for sure the underdog, right? Like I grew up, Permacon was king, right? Up here.
Yeah.
Like why? And Techo
Yeah.
sort of like creeped in, and now everything, if it's not Techo, it's nothing here, you know? Like how early
To
did you
be fair,
come on?
Chad's in Cornwall too, Pete.
Yeah,
Just so
so
you know,
I'm
he's not in Toronto.
I'm a throw from Montreal. So
Okay.
why Techo? Like what set you off to them early on?
I was with a big national manufacturer and said some bad words at a seminar.
Shocking.
Everybody show me your shocked face.
Yeah.
And so they, after 10 years, terminated my employment. And I went to work with a buddy of mine running a landscape design build firm. He's a landscape architect. I'm a builder and accountant. And so I did mostly accounting, though, in the beginning. Sold all the junk trucks and trailers and, using dumpsters to move shit and, just really streamlining tools and equipment and costing of things. And we're just getting into the rhythm. This is in the Lehigh Valley of Pennsylvania, just getting into a rhythm of things. And I met Charlie, the owner of Techo Block, and he said, you should come and talk to me. And I said, how'd you get my number? He said, you sent me your resume almost a year ago. And I said, well, I forgot. He said, well, I didn't. Why don't you come talk to me? And they were building that. Now it's a mega plant in Pennsylvania. And he started talking to me. And I know a lot about manufacturing concrete. One of my best friends in this industry, God rest his soul, Billy Wohop, was the master of making concrete and kiln technologies and the kick of cement and just all of that. And so I know, we drink enough Coors Lights on ice with a little bit of salt, and a little bit of squeeze of lemon in it with Billy. I'm pretty good at making concrete. And listening to Charlie talk, I'm like, you're saying all that. If you're making it even half as well as you're describing it, then I need to get on board. And he said, it's every bit as good. And I can tell you by looking at it. I can tell you by the ring of concrete hitting against each other. I've been in this 35 years. I'm good at it. And I started seeing Techo Block products in the Lehigh Valley and called him back and said, you make me an offer and I'm taking it. And that was 22 years ago. And I don't know that they haven't looked back, because I do still say bad words at seminars sometimes. But it's been an amazing run. When you're a contractor that's committed to quality, there takes sitting at a kitchen table. You have to sit there and look that homeowner right in the eye and unapologetically tell them you're going to charge them a bunch of money. They're going to be happy. They're not going to have problems. And they're going to want to give your name to their neighbors, their friends, their family, their congregation. And it's just going to be a great long-term thing. But it's going to be painful when you get other bids, because you're going to see the difference between me and them. And that's what Techo is. When you put that much cement of that quality cement into the product, it's more money. When you put that much pigment in, we put so much pigment in our product, it's not even visible with a human eye. There's a spectrum of sight that you can see. So a spectrophotometer can see the color. We can't. We still put it in, trying to be as consistent as we can. The compression, the vibration, the small board, big board machine that we run, the kiln, we get in 9 hours, we get 28-day strengths. It's amazing. If there's that technology, we invented it, we own it, we bought it, we use it to make the best product. But then, sitting at a kitchen table, you got to say, I'm pitching you Techo. It's more money. I'm more money. It's going to be more money, and you're going to be happy when we're done. And I think that works with the way I work, which is, Charlie and the family at Techo Block saying, go out and help people. We're going to make you an overhead. We'll figure it out. Just go out and help contractors. Just go out, help dealers be better. Go help dealers, kick off their education program. Obviously, you can't be there all the time, but that they can start doing education. And, just at Beaver Valley, they've already got a schedule up, having never done it before, of what classes are coming up. Incredible. They're like, this is great. I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. We get to help people. Yes, they buy from us. Yes, we make a profit from it. That's wonderful. Profit's not a bad word for anybody, but everybody's winning. Everybody's more successful. They're learning about, Proseco, protectors and cleaners and adhesives and something different, right? How does that fit into our marketplace and work better? Or aquascape and their fountainscapes and elevated water features and pumps, and the more, I don't sell any of those things, but if I can help you learn about them, it's going to be better. That $105,000 job is now a $125,000 job with a wood-fired oven.
To back off that question Chad asked there, why Teco? I'm sure with the name that you've created for yourself in the industry, Pete, that you get or have gotten in the past offers from others, whether in the industry, outside of the industry. Why continue to stay with Teco? Is it loyalty? Is it like, can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, I think loyalty is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Loyal to, the family is one thing, so that you can check that box, right? It's a family-run company, and we're on our second generation of owners that are now taking the reins more and more. You say loyalty to the distributor network, because I came from another manufacturer. When I came to Teco, all the customers came with me, and they said, "Where are we going?" I said, "We're going here." Is that the right choice? Yes. We can trust you. Well, you've trusted me for 10 years, and now they've trusted me for 22 more. And I told them, and they said okay, and they changed, and there's that part of it. And the I wouldn't say it loyalty, but and I love the word trust. The trust that I get from the contracting community, that I can get up there and yell and scream and be confrontational and argue. Example, I don't use the geotextile fabric between the soil subgrade and the column of clean stone behind the wall. I use more clean stone. 3 foot is what I recommend. And if you have 3 foot of clean stone, you don't need it. Well, that's confrontational, because the industry doesn't say that. And a lot of other manufacturers don't say that. I don't care. It's the right thing to say. And everybody comes and they say, well, am I going to apply that? Am I going to, I tell them, listen, this is how I do it. This is why I do it. Let me show you the physics of how the aggregates react in the environment under repetitive traffic load or under hydrostatic and lateral load pressure, whatever it might be. Let me show you. And then you go make a decision. And then you come back the next year and we grow from, 13,000 people coming to our shows to 15,000. So that is the audience's way, the hardscape community's way of saying, we trust you guys. You've done your due diligence. I mean, this year was microbial generation and geotextile fabrics intermittently built through a column of clean stone and a permeable pavement. I mean, I'm not talking down to anybody. Like, let's look at the microbes. Let's look at how the fabric protects them from other organisms that might eat them in the environment, and how it can eat nitrates, phosphates, heavy metals, petroleum distillates, dirt, total suspended solids. And I got an audience of people, 1,100 is our biggest show, but, our smallest show is probably 300 people or something. They're sitting there in the audience going, he's yelling and screaming to us about microbes, bacterial buildup in a layer of fabric in the middle. And I know he's going to bring it to relevance. Like, well, how is this relevant to us? And I do, and they trust me enough to stick it out and stay and go, I get it. People who say no to permeable pavements, it's because they don't understand all of that horizon, all the horizons, and how they work and why they work, and not, I don't know, loyalty or trust. And I'm telling the truth. I do my research. I read 50 books a year. I don't fuck around. If I talk to you about marketing or sales or pricing jobs or building things, I've done my research. And and I'm a religious man. I'm a Christian, and I believe that God put me here to help people price better, make more money, support their families and their crews and their communities, and He's given me an avenue through Techo and the showcases and the Paver Pete tours that I can get out there and help people take the fear out of pricing, marketing, selling, and installation, which are petrifying to a lot of people.
I think that that whole combo there, I think that people don't spend enough time on it. Like I have a couple of sayings that people, and one of them is like you lose more money with a pen than a shovel. Like, and the other one is you can't shovel your way to a good price. Like if your price is shit, you can't make it better shoveling. Like
Yeah.
it's just gonna get shittier. So I think a lot of people don't spend enough time doing exactly what you said, is learning how to sell things.
Yeah. Well, learning how to price things is separate. Like when I teach job pricing, I have a degree in accounting from the University of Maryland. It's up there. Uh, and going through just it's a 4 to 5 hour class. Let's say 5 hours. It's 2 hours of just overhead recovery. Overhead, understanding what the overheads are, budgeted by month, actual, and then recovering them. That's a hard thing to sit through. And I'm telling my jokes and saying bad words and trying to keep them focused. And I don't know how many contractors I've taught job pricing in 35 years, but a lot. And you have, and when you see those numbers, and as you do $1 million in gross sales, you have, $280,000 in overhead, and you got to figure out, oh my, I have to pay $280,000 that bills that haven't even come in yet. And I got to start budget recovering money to pay them. They haven't even come in yet, and start looking at, and then take that number, which I apply to my labor rate, and saying, let's look at labor responsibility. People call it labor burden, the taxes, the fringe benefits, and all those things. But I do about an hour on that. And I say, look, if we're going to get the best and brightest into our industry, recruit the best and retain the best and reward the best and brightest, we need to have these benefits. We need to have bonuses and KPIs and all these healthcare and life insurance and disability insurance and all these benefits that, that they can get at a big box store working there, at Home Depot or Reno Depot or any one of these depots. I mean, you sign up and they're like, okay, you got retirement above and beyond what the government might give you or whatever, starting in 90 days. You come to work for a landscape company and they go, all right, you start on Monday. You don't really get anything, days off or
Get a tan.
Get
Get a free tan.
Yeah.
Like that's your benefit.
We gotta look at the numbers. And when you look at the numbers and you figure out what your costs are to run, and labor, equipment, material, and sub is, I'm not going to say easy, it's easier, right? Because those are things that you see. You have to go buy them. You have to pay people at the end of the week. I get all those labor, equipment, material, and sub by function and get the job done. But when you start with overhead recovery and labor burden or labor responsibility, as I prefer to call it, and figure out those costs, all of a sudden your eyes wake up and go, I'm not charging enough. That's right. You're not charging enough. You need to charge unapologetically. You need to tell people it's 105,000. The next closest bid is 80. I don't care. This is how they skip. Here's a cross section of a retaining wall. I can show you 30 ways to cheat. You wouldn't know any. I left a job in North Carolina one time around a pool, and I'm begging these guys almost on my knees to stop and fix it. I even went to the dealer. I did everything I could. When I was walking out of that backyard, I looked at the woman and said, don't let your kids play near that wall.
Jesus.
I mean, that's how bad it was. A segmental retaining wall. that and that they fall down. There's a lot of property damage. People get hurt. It's no joke. A structural retaining wall. Like we gotta, if we're gonna do the best work, we gotta charge the best prices. And then everything works out. The homeowners forget. They forget that they paid 105 grand in their backyard. They remember the enjoyment. They remember. I just made a post on LinkedIn. Coca-Cola sells refreshment. They don't sell soda. They sell that feeling. That's what they sell. When you walk into your pool deck and there's a wood-fired oven and there's a little shot machine and you got a little maple, whiskey shot and you got your cold beer out of the fridge and the kids are running around and you forgot. You look at your spouse and this was a great investment. But they got to know those numbers. Sales is separate, but they got to know the numbers. And once they know the numbers, then they can start charging in the sales call for those numbers.
What's your preferred overhead recovery method?
Well, I'm a fan of Charles Van der Kooi, God rest his soul, the multiple overhead recovery system. I just think it's too complicated for many and initially. So I just made it up. It's called SOARS, which sounds funny, SOARS, single overhead recovery system. So I recover overhead based on billable man hours. So based on the historical data from that year, we worked 8,221 last year. We don't always grow man hours because there's automation, but let's say we're going to grow 8,275 man hours to hit our sales goals with automation and this and that. So I divide my 280,000 times the 8,200 billable man hours I plan on billing this year, and I get a per man hour overhead recovery rate. And I find that works real well. And it also forces the owner operator to look every week, every month, every quarter, semi-annual, to make sure that they're going to hit that number. So are we on track to hit that number? And it also helps to incentivize the team that if we exceed that number, we're going to still continue to recover overhead. And that's a bonus above and beyond all the bonuses that you get and KPIs that you get. We're going to give you that money. Now, if Farmer's Almanac says winter's coming soon, then we may need to accelerate that number down, and recover more overhead sooner because we've had callbacks, we've had complaints, rain, heavy rains, snow's coming, whatever it might be, and change that number from $27 to $29.50 just to get it so that we recover the amount by the time it's time to shoot Bambi.
I think sometimes in the past I'm intimidated by all that, so I'm putting my head in the sand kind of guy. It'll be okay. I'll buy that truck for 300 grand. I'll figure out how to pay for it. I say that having done it several times. My wife now runs our books, and she is like a weapon of mass destruction. Like she knows everything, and we do landscaping, but we also supply a lot of gravel and bins and stuff to other landscapers, and so she ends up dealing with them a lot. And so now she has like her own like little help forum with these people. Like they'll call her, be like, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm thankful because I don't know that I think that for me as a landscaper, taking my head out of the sand is hard. It's really everyone talks about it, but it's hard. It's really hard to say, shit, man, I got to make 280 grand this year.
I think when you look at all four things, whether it be pricing, jobs, marketing, selling, or installation, each one of those is a profession for somebody. And as a owner operator, you have to do all four, and you have to be really good at it. And even though you may be a good builder of things, and your natural inclination is to go build things, well, then who's watching overhead recovery and the recovery of that overhead based on every billable man hour? Who's watching the cash flow statement? Who's watching, which is the number one reason that landscape contractors go out of business, is lack of cash flow. Who's watching the marketing? And you say, well, there's a lot of good marketers now. We've got the social media influencer bunch in the hardscape industry that really build terrible things largely, but are really popular on social media. And you look at their content schedule and it's fucking terrible. It's not helping any of us. It's buffoonery. It's making jokes of I saw somebody running a compactor with flip-flops on. I'm like, no. You got to wear the PPEs when you got to know what you're doing when you're cutting. You got to, there's got to be something. I don't have a big following on social media. I guess okay. And I probably could if I joked around more, because I joke around a bunch, right? But I don't want that. I want someone to watch my video and say, I understand how to use a dressing stone on a diamond blade that's going to save me $350 versus throwing it in the scrap pile. I now get more useful life out of it. I want to talk about HEPA particle vacuums and how they can save your life. Or, that's just an example. I made a post about IQ and some of their tools recently, but I always want to do that. I think some of the marketing people that we have, the gurus of marketing, the social media influencers in our industry, are joking around too much. And I get they get clicks. And if they're making money, I guess that's okay. But I don't want to do it that way. I want us as an industry to say, how do we rising tide lifts all boats? How do we all get better because of this and elevate the professionalism and image and brand of our industry, from pickup truck and wheelbarrows to, we've got a clamp mounted to an excavator that's swinging, 12 square feet of pavers down at a time. We'll do your driveway in an hour and 15 minutes, and we'll be packed up and onto the next driveway, which is 2 streets over, at lunch, and do another one. That's how I see our industry growing. So if we look at pricing jobs, we got to be great at it. And to be great at it, you got to be humble. You got to subject yourself to the Paver Pete's and Ian McCarthy's my buddy at Blue Claw. I don't know if you guys know him or not. Rock star dude. Or Mark Bradley or the LMN team or Synced Up does a great job. Fred Pape over there is a good buddy of mine. You got to subject yourself to them. You got to pay them the money that you need to pay them. You need to recover those costs, and you need to demand to get to implement it. Like to have Synced Up and use 10% of it, unacceptable. To have LMN and use 10% of it, unacceptable. You got to push them to help you to get, to let's say 80% usage. And then your numbers. And the same with marketing. You got to study it. I mean, I got hundreds of books here on marketing, to be better at marketing, to understand, how do we grow, not just me, but how do we grow us, 1, 3, 5, 10 in retirement down the road. And sales. And wait, one more second, and sales. The shoot from the hip days are fucking over. We need to have a canned sales pitch that reflects our image and our brand. We need to go in there and, again, unapologetically walk them through the horizons of an interlocking pavement and say, if you're not using Type S hydrated lime, 3/4 inch clean, clear stone over that clay soil and running a compactor until it stops accepting it, chemically changing the positive negative attraction of water molecules to clay particles, sitting there in front of homeowners, explaining them, this is clay, this is water, they're stuck together. Lime changes that. That's why we use Type S hydrated lime, 50 pounds per 100. And that costs you money. You're going to pay me, and we're going to go get it, and we're going to install it. And your driveway won't have 2 giant ruts through the middle of it. Your patio won't look like a bathtub in the summer and pregnant in the winter. That kind of selling.
For 1,000 years, men will still say, this was their finest hour.